for the peer review since that, we have one coming up, and it just said that we had a Zoom session that we needed to do in video and then upload it to YouTube as part of our process. And I just wasn't sure, since we haven't done that before, if that was a requirement for our course or if that was just something that was new for the new program since it was switching over.
Dr. Neal would like you to do those. Let me show you where this stuff is if you don't know, and it's not too terrible. Some of the folks have had experience. Over on the left hand toolbar in Blackboard is this thing about course assignments. Here it has the peer review kit. There's a video here that you should watch, and then there was a video from Dr. Neal about, well, yeah, this is it. And then the peer review kit and Teams. So yes, give it a shot, please, and then upload the paper peer reviews in the discussion board. Okay. So do we need to elect a chair, like a person? Dr. Neal suggests that the last person on each team, alphabetically. Oh, how convenient. No, I'm just joking. It's Kristen Sides would be the Zoom master for the first Zoom session, and that you would email the other folks and get it organized. Now, one of the things that I'm still learning about Blackboard is, do y'all have everybody else's email addresses? No. No. I sent you an announcement or email announcement. Do you all check your Gardner Web emails? Mine's linked to my school school email. You got it forwarded there. The Zoom conferencing. Dr. Neal would like you to do it. Yes. Okay. So figure it out. And if you watch that 12-minute video that I just referenced there under course assignments, it says that the last person on the team ought to organize the first one. So email folks, and that was where I was going. I sent you an announcement that was sent to everybody. So I was just suggesting that you cut and paste your team members' addresses from that email. Okay. That's a really dumb way to do it. And I'm going to try to set up groups to make it easier for y'all to collaborate, but I'm still learning about that in Blackboard. So when we do our Zoom conference, does it need to be prior to our peer review session, like our peer reviews that we do on paper, or does it just need to be at some point before they're submitted to TaskStream? At some point. Sorry, I was trying to watch the video to get caught up.
I'm glad you're asking these questions.
Eventually, I want to see 2 written peer reviews and a peer review Zoom conference in the dialogue forum, the discussion forum. Okay. And that's how I'm assessing that you've peer reviewed with someone. Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking that you need a Zoom conference with your team just to set this stuff up. And I don't care about seeing that. And I honestly don't care about a firm deadline next week. Your evidences have to be in TaskStream by March 1st. And if you're not moving to finish these last couple, then it's not going to get done. So, but I sprung it on you quickly this week, and if it takes another week or 2, get all this Zooming done and conferencing about your last couple of artifacts, that's okay. Okay, because I know I can get my peer reviews done as long as, because I think half my group submitted theirs so far, but I know I can get that part done, but I just wasn't sure about the Zoom session in addition to having the peer conferences and having my weekly readings done. That's what I was asking. Sure. It's mostly important to me, Kristen, that you get the peer reviews done. Okay. Okay. Sometime. Okay. Thanks for asking, though, because if you're asking, somebody else wonders too, and we'll record this. Now I'm recording it, and we can load it. Okay. I just started to record a few minutes ago. So, artifacts. Are y'all pretty well along, or had you already done 5E and 6F? No? Okay. Some folks wrote to me and said that they had done them in previous semesters, but do you understand what the graphic organizers are about? Okay. Both of them are graphic organizers, a visual display, and I know that many folks interpret that as a chart or a table. That's at least proficient, I think, but some of the others that I loaded in there are fancier, and I had a house diagram that described my school's school improvement plan. It had pillars and a roof, and it was a true visual that incorporated words and images to try to graphically display our goals and objectives. But you don't have to be fancy, and a table, I think, is at least proficient.
Okay.
So, again, in terms of Zooming and conferencing about these last couple of things, that shouldn't be an issue. I'm concerned if somebody doesn't have their task stream portfolio coming together at this point, if everything else is kind of lagging behind, and you don't want to self-identify at this point, but contact me if you're behind on stuff. Do you also know who your clinical coach is? Everybody? Yeah? Okay. And that person should be in touch with you. Now, as far as task stream and evidences, does everybody know that in this semester you should also be putting things together and resubmitting your complete APTEL and APSEL and CAP all in one piece? And there may be some forms or evidences that you have to fill out in task stream as well. So, okay. I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are you're the early adopters and the ones on task. Good for you. I like this course. I really like the readings and the motivation and what it has helped me understand about the difference between managing and leading as a principal. I hope you're having fun reading some of this stuff, and you're doing great writing as far as the dialogue posts. Are there any questions about that stuff? What other questions do you have that we should try to address? Do you have to Zoom? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I do have a question, and maybe one of the other girls, have talked to their clinical coach about this too, but we're supposed to do something like a online portfolio. Have you guys heard about that?
Of competencies.
Yeah.
The competency portfolio.
Will that be embedded into this course, or is that just something we do on our own?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it a little bit and give y'all examples. For instance, one of the competencies is communication. So after you do your Zoom meeting, Kristen, and organize your team and record that, you should be able to upload that into the competency portfolio as an evidence of your effective communication.
Okay.
Now that's
actually, I went to Gardner Webb to Dr. Hamilton. He invited me to his class last semester, and so it was like a working session. It was at the very, very end, so I just went. And we worked on ours just a little bit, and it sounds like they've taken away the 400-hour internship log. That's the impression I've gotten, and that this is kind of replacing it, and you're really just supporting it with what you've done in the artifacts and just like simple things like a Zoom session or things you've done at your site that support those. Is it like 24?
There's 20. I think there's 21.
21.
That's how many competencies are.
And it's very, like, Dr. Hamilton told me that, you can upload like 2 to 3, or you can do, 3 to 4, but really it's nothing that needs to be that laborious. You should have already done it through your work.
The only thing that I have mine finished, But the only thing that took me a while is you can't take like a whole artifact and paste the whole artifact as part of your competency. So you have to do sections of it. So whereas like I did a portion of my communication was like where I assisted with our transition camp, and I communicated with parents and created a survey and all that stuff. Like I could only take the survey portion and post it as one of my competencies. I couldn't take my whole entire artifact. So you just take bits and pieces of your artifact and put it in there, and you upload. I did 3 per competency is what I did for mine. But that's what took me the longest, was just going through my artifacts and figuring out what fit each competency. That took me a little bit.
Yeah, same with me too.
Leanne, does that answer your question?
It does. I just didn't know if I should wait to get started on that, wait for some direction on it, or just kind of dive in and do it on my own.
Dive in. You should please share what you're doing with your coach, and okay. It's your coach who's going to check that and actually certify competency at the end based on the evidences that you've uploaded. Now, my understanding is exactly as Kristen described, and I believe that the expectation for you guys is 1 evidence per those 21 or 24 competencies, whatever it is. As an exercise, going through your artifacts and thinking, oh, that survey demonstrates how I collected data, or this interview with an assistant principal demonstrates how I can effectively manage bus schedules. I think it's a really good thing. Who was it? Elizabeth who talked about the experience with Dr. Hamilton. I'm sorry. It's a good thing. And if you have questions about it, ask. Am I embedding or working on it through this course? Not so much. I hope some of the things that we're doing will count toward that, or can count toward that. The interview of the assistant principal, for instance. But I'm not consciously thinking 21 competencies, put this here.
And Leanna, there's a video that we got, I guess, later last semester or early this semester that Dr. Hamilton did, and it really step by step, there's directions of how you just set it up. It's real simple to set up and just kind of dive in and start.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And I'm learning about that too, but right now your peers would probably be a good resource to explain that better than I can.
And I have a folder set up where I put like all of I made myself a folio folder so that way I'd have it all together. So if it helps at all, I can send you like 1 or 2 of my things I did for each, because I have it grouped. Like I have my communication, and then I have whatever the different ones are. I have them sectioned. So Dr. Z has already looked at mine, and she's checked off on all of them. So I know they fit with what her requirement is. So if it helps to have those, I'll be happy to send them to you if that just gives you an idea of what to include. And then the sentences that you do when you go to actually write about them, you don't write a whole lot. Like I think I did maybe 4 sentences at a max for each one when I did them. They're not as in-depth as when you submit like your final artifacts to TaskStream. They're much shorter and just very to the point, like what you did.
That'd be great.
Not as descriptive.
Yeah.
But this is another folder or page in TaskStream, right?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, it is.
You set up your account and load stuff there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You do.
I've seen it, but I don't have access to your competency portfolios. But load them. Go for it.
Okay, sounds good.
And thanks for your offer of help, Kristen.
Yes, thank you.
What else is happening, ladies?
Just busy getting stuff together and trying to finish up. I'll tell you the most rewarding thing within the past few weeks is going into my task stream and seeing all of those things marked off compared to where it was at the beginning. Oh, it's such a relief. It's just nice to see that I have like so much accomplished after all the work the past year and a half. So that's pretty neat.
Good for you, Kristen.
Are you writing on me?
What else? You will.
I have a question about I went to the bookstore at Gardner Webb and wasn't thinking, because I have like a new copy of the Strengths-Based Leadership when I did another workshop through Gardner Webb and Cleveland County Schools like last June. And I've done that, where you did the code and everything, and all they had at Gardner Webb bookstore was used copies. And then when you said we needed a new copy, I returned it. Are we going to need, we're going to need that. I've not looked further ahead, but we're going to need that code so that we can take our 5 strengths survey, correct?
Did you previously take the survey?
I've done it twice. I've done it I did it when I did a leadership workshop with Dr. Guri in Cleveland County Schools last June, and then I did it when I went to the Urban Education Leaders Collaborative.
Wow. Do you have your report?
I have both of them, and it's interesting. They're very similar, even though it was like probably 6 to 8 months.
Yeah,
they're very similar. But I think the more I've gone through the MELS program, like some of the leadership qualities that I didn't have at the beginning when I took it, there was like one that was different. I can't remember exactly what it was. I was like, you know what? Now that I've really gotten, my skill set's different, I do fit this strength more than I did, when I took it the first time. So I need?
If you can save your money and return the book, do so. Use the report that you have from last year.
Okay. Well, and I took one. Yeah, I guess it was last year because I took it in, I guess, October as well. So I have 2 reports. But I did return the book, and they didn't have a new version, so I was going to order on Amazon.
No.
Okay.
Reflecting on your strengths and writing is all that's required. And
okay.
if you've already done that, I'm not going to ask you to rebuy it. No. Ladies, Leanna, Kristen, do you know this strengths-based leadership? Have you already surveyed too?
I haven't taken the survey, but I bought a used copy of the book. So
you need the original code in order to take the online survey, and that means a new book. But do what you can, and again, the important part is taking the survey, learning your strengths, reflecting on them, and using that self-knowledge. But do what you can.
Sounds good.
Good book.
It is a good book.
When is that coming up?
Last couple of weeks of the semester.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a closing activity for me.
Okay.
Once you guys are already cooked and have your task stream and graduation checked off, it'll be a good thing to think about while you're looking for new jobs, which I assume everybody is going to be pursuing after they earn their new degree. Some of you are already in central office. Some are, let's see, Leanna and some in schools, but lots of folks pursuing assistant principalships and principalships. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here tonight, ladies. I'm not going to keep you if I've answered all the questions. I do want to try to do that and have an open forum whenever you want one. I'll record this and save it for others to check out. Again, I think that if you had questions about the Zooming and the peer conferences, others probably did too. So thanks for airing that, Kristen. Anything else?
No, I think it was helpful just to kind of have some face-to-face interaction and be able to ask questions even as we go throughout the semester.
And provide the opportunity again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye.
Bye.